Most people think that they're teachable. They think that they're growing in wisdom. They think that they're good learners, that they take advice well. But they're not exactly right about that. See, fools think that they're wise in their own eyes, as we've discussed, and the obstinate just refuse to learn. So there are obvious ways to be a bad learner, to not be teachable. But how can we be sure that what we're learning and how we're learning it is actually growing us in wisdom? Well, the suggestion here is to essentially diversify what you have around you. A wise man or a wise woman is going to have a community of thought around them. They're going to be able to discern and distill information from a variety of sources to really make sure that they're following truth. Take this example. Think about whenever you were a teenager. Maybe you're one now, but we all at least were at one point. Teenagers tend to, not always, but tend to refuse advice from people older than them, especially whenever you're much older than them, say their parent. But they rely a lot on advice from their peers. Peer pressure is a thing. There's no doubt about that. And of course, it's a thing at all ages, but as we age, we learn and our perspective changes such that we know that people older than us genuinely have had more experiences and perhaps are more wise, but at the very least, they've had more experiences. And so you see, as whenever you were probably a teenager, I know for me this was true, you reject a lot of the advice, a lot of the wisdom coming from people older than you in favor of faux wisdom coming from those around you. And so wisdom, Keller says, is that ability to see things through as many different perspectives as possible. Because if you're able to view a certain situation in a lot of different ways, that would give you more options to determine or discern from. It's that muscle of discretion, discernment that we've been talking about, where by being able to see more options, you then have more options to choose between. And so if you surround yourself with people that aren't just feeding the exact same type of information into you, that's healthy, especially for learning how to decide. Now, there is a tension here between surrounding yourself with people that are rooted in truth, as opposed to surrounding yourself with false teachers and people that are teaching you things that are just straight up wrong. But even in those people that are teaching you something that's wrong, there will be elements of truth. And so by you being rooted in truth, by you being rooted in reality, you're actually able to then teach those people back and guide them as they might be able to drop a nugget every once in a while into your pool, your community of wisdom. So what kind of person should you be listening to that maybe you're not? Or what kind of person do you need to be that someone can listen to? How do you need to grow in building this community around you that will be able to pour different perspectives into you such that you can grow more effectively and learn more effectively? Being teachable is not just hearing the same thing over and over and finally getting it memorized. Being teachable is discernment. Teachability is the ability to accept information, put it into the catalog of whatever is in your brain, and then to put it in the right spot in that catalog for potential future use or in the recycling bin. And it's an important skill because if you only ever listen to people of your race or of your gender, it's not really useful. Now, there can be people of those things that have different opinions, but it's important for that perspective to be very well fleshed out, because the more fleshed out it is, the more wise you definitionally are. I'll be praying for you. See you tomorrow.